Young Turks brought to you by Busted Tees. Go to bustedtees.com and enter promo code Young Turks to get 10% off your order. During a stockholders meeting for McDonald's Corporation, Chief Executive Jim Skinner rejected a proposal that would basically examine the role McDonald's plays in childhood obesity. Okay, health advocates are also asking McDonald's to stop using Ronald McDonald to sell Happy Meals to children. And what I found interesting about the meeting was the fact that executives basically said that they believe in the democratic process, they believe in letting individuals choose what they consume, and that they will continue using Ronald McDonald. They will not buy into this proposal to examine childhood obesity. Look, childhood obesity is a huge problem in the U.S., okay? Don't get me wrong at all. But to hold one fast food restaurant accountable for it, like what role did McDonald's play in childhood obesity? I feel like you're not focusing on the larger picture. You're just focusing on one food chain. And yeah, is it an unhealthy food chain? Of course, the majority of their food is unhealthy, but I feel like we're wasting time by focusing on this one food chain. We should look at the bigger picture and look at what the real problem is.
I just think that, and I'm going to have a sip of my McDonald's coffee.
By the way, McDonald's, not a sponsor.
No, okay. No, and they're not going to like that. But here's the thing. I mean, cigarette companies were taken to task for their wooing of young smokers, right? I mean, Joe Camel was a character that was on the side of Camel cigarettes, and they thought that it was a cartoon character, and they banned that. And the cigarette companies had to make a lot of concessions in order to sell their products. So yeah, they're not the only causes of lung cancer. But they're significant contributors. And billions of people, as we see the signs change monthly on McDonald's stores, buy this food. And so to them, I mean, they are partially responsible for it. And if they're not responsible for it, and it is an individual choice, which I embrace and I agree with, they are responsible then because they're such a big company that does serve so many children and so many underprivileged people in this country who can go in there and eat a meal with their family for $8, feed 6 people. I think they should do this. I mean, I think that is something about corporate responsibility, to study it, say, what is our contribution? Maybe we take the toys out of Happy Meals to incentivize people going in, less from buying these Happy Meals. Maybe we make the Happy Meals healthier. Maybe we make Ronald McDonald fat. Look how skinny Ronald McDonald is. He should be a big fat clown so that you see what, going to Ronald McDonald and eating McDonald's food all the time does to you.
If you want to have a discussion or a debate as to whether or not McDonald's should stop advertising to children in the way that they do, I can definitely have that discussion, okay? But in terms of their responsibility, I feel like they've really improved. And I'll give you an example. You used to go to McDonald's and the only option you had, were the fatty burgers and, the chicken sandwiches that were covered in mayonnaise, like just the disgusting food that of course is going to make you fat. But they have improved the quality of their food. And look, I'm not saying this because I'm this huge advocate for McDonald's, okay? But I'm saying this objectively. You go into their restaurant, if you want fruit, they have fruit now. If you don't want your kid to eat fries and you want them to eat apple wedges instead with their meal, you as a parent have the ability to make that decision. You're a parent, be a parent. If your kid is whining and crying for French fries and a burger, you can say no.
Yeah.
They'll be mad at you for...
I don't disagree with that at all. Like, I totally agree with what you're saying. The issue I'm saying is it would make this company look better, and it would seem more responsible if they saw what their role was. If they did an internal investigation, came out and said, listen, we do too much of X, Y, and Z. The dollar menu, they should raise that price, honestly. Like $1 for a Big Mac. It's like killing people, I mean.
The Big Mac's $1 now?
Well, there's they do the $1 Big Mac menu, and sometimes or the $1 whatever it is, the $1 something. You can get more than you need for $1 there. And I'm not saying, I understand it's great for people who can't afford anything right now, and America's in dire straits in terms of poverty and all of that. But you know, and you're right, it is about responsibility. But it just seems like there's corporate responsibility too, just as we have our own responsibility to take care of ourselves and not let our kids eat that all the time and make it a special treat or whatnot. But there's also corporate responsibility. I think they don't take enough of it. Though you're right, they have changed their menu, and you go in there now, and there are a lot more healthy options. But you know, those nobody buys those.
Michael, I think your point backfired. You said they have those $1 Big Macs, and I was like, really? Oh my God!
Yeah,
really?
I know that.
Let's go.
Right, you're exactly right. Look at what it did. Just in 1 second, we are now an obese show.
If you're looking for a cool t-shirt, all you have to do is go to bustedtees.com. Pop culture, politics, science fiction. Some of their t-shirts have been featured in movies like Knocked Up and in television shows like Scrubs. Their shirts are made in the United States and they're sweatshop free. So if you want to pick up one of these snazzy tees, all you have to do is go to bustedtees.com, enter promo code Young Turks, and you get 10% off your order.